Hello, everyone. You're very welcome to the stream. And today we are looking at the Spanish Grand Prix, which will be starting off in not too long now, in about 90 minutes' time. The race will be getting started. Uh, let's start thinking about what could happen in the race. So we had, of course, the qualifying yesterday, and we had Lewis Hamilton, who kicked things off with not totally unexpected, I would say. However, Max Verstappen looked very good in practice three, and so if we look at this closely now, you can see that Lewis Hamilton was on pole position, Max Verstappen was in second, Valtteri Bottas was in third place. Surprisingly, the Ferraris were very strong as well. We had Charles Leclerc in fourth place. Carlos Sainz didn't make the top 10. Oh, no, he did. Sorry. He's in sixth place. How did I miss Carlos Sainz? So Carlos Sainz in sixth, fourth and sixth. I knew the Ferraris did really well, and they had been looking strong all weekend as well. Ocon, another very strong qualifying for him. It's just the Alpine doesn't seem to have the race pace, unfortunately, and that's their big downfall right now. Ricciardo outqualifies his teammate for the first time and finishes in qualifying, where we have Lando Norris in ninth. I know Norris will be very disappointed about that. Perez, this is a disappointing qualifying from Perez. Eighth place. Yeah, he needs to be doing better than that. He needs to be in the top four. He needs to be in the mix with them just to help out his teammate as well. And then we have Fernando Alonso in 10th place. Both Alpines, both McLarens, both Red Bulls, all in the top. So highly consistent there between those five teams. And we didn't really see anybody else come in there. Yeah, let's have a look at what social media made of all this. Of course, the big story we have is Lewis Hamilton on pole position. Not only that, it was his 100th pole position. He already had the record, so it's not like he sets a new record. He betters his own record. Lewis Hamilton now the record holder with 100. And then a very nice one that we took here from the Formula One Twitter feed. And you can see all the different pole positions. And we had Prost, Clark, who had 33 pole positions each. Vettel, 57 pole positions. Schumacher, of course. Senna next in third place had 65. And I'm sure he would have had a lot more than that. Schumacher had 68. And Hamilton now with 100 pole positions. A great stat. And there's one thing you can't deny about Lewis Hamilton, and that is he is a very fast driver. Has he had the fastest car? Yeah, 90% of the time he's been in the fastest car. But, Schumacher and Vettel all set their pole positions in the fastest car at the time as well. So, you can't be saying that. I guess you could include Austin there to an extent as well. Jim Clark, my memory doesn't go back that far, but he was supremely talented, very driver as well. So there we go. So how does the grid look for the race ahead? So this is what you can see very nicely. Hamilton is in there in pole position with Verstappen in second. The stats are not against Verstappen here. Okay. Now, there's some niceties. Of course, we have Verstappen's first ever race win for Red Bull was the Spanish Grand Prix, and also it was his first ever race for Red Bull. So very nice. This is Lewis Hamilton's pole position, but it's also Max Verstappen's 100th race in Formula One. So maybe he'll be looking for a win to celebrate that. I think he'll be looking for a win no matter what. So we probably don't even need to discuss that. 73% of the drivers on pole position win the Spanish Grand Prix. That's the big against Max Verstappen. So we do something to overcome this. I'll come back to my prediction in a minute. But just looking down the grid, I think very important to mention as well, Schumacher in 18th place. So yes, I am a fan of Schumacher. Okay, I want to see him do well. And he's in probably the worst car, but he's outqualified Latifi. So not only did he finish ahead of Latifi in the last race, he has now outqualified him for the Spanish Grand Prix. And hopefully he can make progress from there. Very hard to see Haas getting past anybody apart from Latifi at the moment. Maybe they can make a play for Russell. The Williams just doesn't seem as good on race pace. I cannot see them getting close to the Alfa Romeos. They have the same engine, of course, so they're a possibility, but Alfa Romeo look slightly better setup, and Giovanni and Renan are both very talented drivers with a lot of experience. So yeah, that's definitely going to play in their favor as well. Are there any prizes then in qualifying? So Stroll is in 11th and Vettel is in 13th. Stroll enters the race with the upgrades. Vettel doesn't have that. So in theory, Stroll should have the better race pace. I don't know if that actually translated to qualifying pace, but there you have it. He's in 11th and his teammate is in 13th. Aston Martin really need to do something this weekend. We're in the 4th round now, and they have been thoroughly unimpressive so far. Ricciardo out-qualifying his teammate in 7th. This is a big deal because Ricciardo has been shown up, I suppose you could say, by comparison to Norris. And it's not a nice thing to say technically, but the reality is he has been shown up by his teammate. Now, there are mitigating circumstances here. Of course, Ricciardo is brand new to the McLaren team and doesn't have the years' experience that Norris has with the team and with the car and with the chassis setup and everything else like that. And Ricciardo is getting used to driving the McLaren, but this is the first positive step I've seen from Ricciardo now to out-qualify Norris. Norris was bitterly disappointed with his qualifying. There was about, I think, 0.2 of a second in between them. So it wasn't anything huge for the out-qualifying here. I wouldn't be getting worried if I was a part of the McLaren team. I guess I'd be more worried about the aspect that we were in 7th and 9th as opposed to being 4th or 5th, which is where Norris was managing to be in the previous qualifying sessions. Now, can Ricciardo capitalize on this, and can he finish ahead of Norris in the race? That's the big question. We all want to see this. My prediction is, yeah, he'll grind it out for this one. He might just be the type of circuit that suits Ricciardo as well. So he'll go for it, and he'll make a count on this occasion. I want Norris to do well, though. I like Norris. I think he's a very good driver. He's shown he's lots of talent. And of course, we want to see him maintain his position in the World Drivers' Championship as well. Anything else to mention then, looking at this starting grid? Tsunoda, disappointed with his qualifying, has implied that maybe his car isn't the same as the one his teammate has. Well, that's dodgy territory to be going with there. He's fresh into the team. He's fresh into Formula. He doesn't have the experience of the car. Once again, it's like the Ricciardo Norris thing. But even to a larger extent here, he doesn't have the experience of the car. So you can't be making claims like that. And he will find himself in trouble. Mazepin in 20th. That's not a surprise. However, he compromised one of Norris' runouts. He's received another penalty point. Everybody keeps talking about him. I saw that he nearly caused a crash as well during free practice, and not a good time for Mazepin. So he really needs to step up now and show us what he's made of. If indeed he is able for Formula One, and maybe we'll do a piece on this in the future. Is he suitable to be in Formula One, and how long will he last? Will he last in Formula One? Probably. He's a paid driver, so he'll probably last as long as the money lasts, and that's the reality. That's the reality of the situation, unfortunately. So look at predictions then for the race. Predictions. So my prediction for the race is I'm going to have to be very boring here. I think Lewis Hamilton is going to win the race. What a surprise. What a very big surprise. Lewis Hamilton to win the race. Unfortunately, that's the way it's set up. I've spoken about the stats with the pole position in Spain, and that definitely does not help Verstappen's case. And 2 out of 3 practice sessions this weekend, the Mercedes have looked stronger than the Red Bull. So the writing is really on the wall for this one. Mercedes are much stronger as well when it comes to strategy than Red Bull. So I find it very difficult to imagine that Red Bull will be able to snatch this win away from Mercedes. Perez needs to get up the grill and he needs to stake his claim for a top 4 finish, ideally in 3rd place. But Bottas could be surprisingly quick again this weekend. How things go for him. He's an uninspiring driver in ways, but also he can be pretty solid and fast from time to time. So yeah, that's it. That's my prediction for the race. Hamilton to win, Verstappen most likely to come second, Bottas in 3rd place, and 4th is up in the air. I can't see the Ferraris maintaining the race pace to finish in 4th. You'd never know. The McLaren could be very strong and they could come through. Alpine, I'm not holding out for Alpine to finish in top 5, where Ocon is currently starting in 5th. And Gasly would have a good race where he makes his way into the points. And as I said, Perez needs to make his way through the field now, and he needs to make count for Red Bull, or else he's going to start feeling pressure at some point in time as well, because he is an experienced driver and he will bring what this team needs in terms of a backup driver to Max Verstappen. There you go. Be interesting to see how the race. Hoping for a very, very exciting race. Not convinced that's going to happen, but that's the reality of the situation. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the race, and we'll probably be back here for a debrief after what I'm hoping will be a thoroughly exciting race. Hope you enjoy it, and speak to you later.